Hey guys, Dave here. I've been yipping and yapping about this outdoor kitchen the last 4 or 5 videos, so I kind of figured maybe I'll make a video and kind of run you through the plan and show you what I plan to do and get your input on this too. But first, I think it's kind of a good idea to do a mosey around the backyard here and just kind of show you what's going on. So I think I showed all of this to you in a previous video, but when we come out the back door, this is kind of what we're looking at. I think the last video was about a year ago when we first moved into the place, so it's been a while. There have been a few changes, but isn't this a great view? You look out and see if I can zoom in here a little bit. But we got the old moo cows in the background greeting us, and kind of sadly enough, they're beef cattle, but anyway, they're kind of friendly. They wander up to the fence line every now and then. I got the old fire pit going on here, and I was cutting the grass. That's why the chairs are spread so far away. Let me actually pause for a minute and spread these chairs out. There we go. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Kind of gives you the fireside effect. And of course, I got my pile of firewood here. Interestingly enough, they cut down a tree way over yonder here. And so the neighbors kind of shared the wood, which worked out perfectly. And here is my homemade fire pit that I built myself. I bought myself a welder, actually, and welded up this grill. Well, there's a story behind the grill. I actually found it on an island when I was boating and thought, well, nobody's going to use that. So I grabbed it up and brought it home and fixed it up and welded it. And, of course, here we have the old garden. Now, I made a bit of a mistake this year when I planted the garden. I should have made it twice as wide because I got the tomatoes way too clumped together. But if you look, we got a lot of tomatoes on this vine and some eggplant, some bell peppers, and a lot of this I've already harvested. The onions I didn't use up very much, so it's a bit of a disaster. And we got some parsley and some basil there. Some cucumbers, which are really yielding along nicely, and some peas, and they're actually huge peas, if you can see them in there, and some squash, and among the squash, squished in there, are some strawberries. And there are only a couple of strawberries plants, and they say they usually take a couple of years to come up, so maybe we'll see next year. So I'll just kind of do a scan around the backyard here. I mean, it's a nice backyard. And we'll just walk up to the wind chimes here. Now, I kind of built this little wind chime station. It's really nice when the wind blows. There's nothing nicer than the old wind blowing with chimes in it. And, of course, I got my little rustic bird bath here, and that attracts a lot of birds. Actually, they just love bathing in this. And the funny part is I clean this just about every day, and I can't believe how dirty birds get because the water's really dirty from the bird bath, but they just love splushing and splashing and everything else around here. So again, the backyard, kind of nice, sitting there looking out, looking at the old cows and having a fire and cooking some stuff over wood. And cooking over wood is so nice, because I find it really depends, if you get some nice maple or some, whatever wood you use, makes a big difference in the taste of the meat. So I just love anything wood cooked. I think charcoal is the second best, and the last is propane. And of course, we got the old bird feeding station there, and it's nice sitting in the living room here, kind of looking out the window and watching the birds feed away there. Anyway, enough yipping and yapping about the backyard. Let's get on to the outdoor kitchen I plan to build. So step one is the garden hose reel. Now you might say, well, what the heck are you showing me a garden hose reel for? Well, that's going to come into play in the outdoor kitchen. Now, guys, if you ever seen the show Red Green, this might be a little bit red-greenish for you feller and fellerettes out there that are wondering, because it's going to be a makeshift, well, not makeshift, but kind of an outdoor kitchen that you guys can build at home, or just about anybody can build. Nothing real fancy, nothing real expensive, just something functional that looks kind of good and, kind of on the inexpensive side, we'll call it, that works. And I want your input too, because We're going to be doing some filming out here, and I want you guys to feel that it's your kitchen as well. So please feel free to leave tons of comments. Let me know, well, I would do this, I would do that in the outdoor kitchen. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the kitchen. So first off, we got the area, and I've got the propane barbecue out here now. And I mean, it doesn't look very good. I mean, you just got a barbecue stuck there in a basic frame. So what I hope to do is kind of frame this off with something nice on each edge. Maybe, have it look like some brick. You can get some wood or do that, or maybe some barn board and kind of fireproof it or whatever. Just kind of, so when you're sitting back at the fire pit and company comes over, it kind of looks nice. And people don't say, oh, that's an ugly looking barbecue. But then again, it's pretty inexpensive. So if you got ideas to face this barbecue off, just let me know what you do. Now, on the bottom here, we've got a cement slab. And that cement slab, I suppose, would be, I don't know, maybe about 14, 15 feet by about 10 or 12 feet. So there's a decent amount of room there. And got the back of the building here. So what I plan to do or hope to do is kind of build, and even a 2x4 frame that's treated, that's about 6 feet long or something like that, along the back here. So, when you're, average 30 inches high, something like that, 32 inches high. And then what I'm going to do, kind of hard to describe, I'll make some videos when I'm building it, is in the center of not the center, but to the one side of the counter, put a sink in, just maybe a single sink. And here's what I was talking about when I mentioned the old hose reel, is I am just going to run a Y off this hose reel, bring it along the ground, and I'm going to bring it into a set of kitchen taps. It's going to be in the countertop, and then you just have cold water, because you don't need hot water out here. Now, for a drain, I'm thinking of digging a hole, or something like that, just down here, and just have the water, because it's only going to be gray water. I mean, it's just going to be water from food, right? So you can have it just kind of drain out onto the lawn here. And I mean, if I really wanted to get real fancy, could dig a little pit. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck is that thing right there? Well, that is an old television antenna that they just cut off. So I just want to dig that out. But anyway, I think a nice little 6-foot counter in this area here, just right about center, so you can access the barbecue over here when you're cooking. I think that would be just about perfect. In the back, you're going to have your countertop, and again, the steps, and in front, the barbecue. Now, you let me know whether you think there's a side burner on this barbecue, and it works fairly well. I mean, it's not a terribly expensive barbecue. Wish I could get somebody to sponsor me to get a nice new Weaver or something like that, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. But I'm wondering to get real fancy is to build an extension on the one side of the barbecue here. So when you're cooking and stuff, and you can hang all your stuff. And incidentally, and we'll do this more when we start to build it. And like I said, I'm going to do some videos as we start to build. But we got our nice little 6-7 foot countertop. 6 foot works out perfectly mathematically, because you don't want to waste a whole lot of lumber. But we're going to have some shelving in here. I don't want to think we have to get fancy with drawers, because here in Canada where I live, you can only use the barbecue, 6 months out of the year, unless I want to come out in the wintertime and barbecue in the wintertime. I'm not sure I want to throw my parka on, my hat, and look like Bernie Sanders or whatever out here barbecuing. So I don't know, and I just might. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, I don't want to get too fancy with drawers and all fancy stuff, because it gets really expensive. If you guys were doing it at home, you don't want to get it, too on the costly side. And plus, you can only use it, 5 or 6 months out of the year. So anyway, we'll just take another walk. And let me know what you think, please, because, you can say I'd have this idea for countertops, or what to use for a countertop. I know you can pick up countertops relatively cheaply. I mean, you can buy the laminate and stuff like that, but I don't want to be buying a whole bunch of stuff either. Maybe I could just make something like out of 2x6 and barathane it down or something like that. So you got a surface that you can cut on and stuff like that. I don't know, but let me know anyway what you think about that and some shelving. And I'm just going to go back and give you another view of it so you know what we're dealing with here. So again, this is kind of what it's going to be like. Like I say, the counter at the back, 6-7 feet, barbecue kind of faced off, maybe a little extension on the side of the barbecue, just a place where you can hang, the tongs and the flipper and all that stuff and make it look a little nicer. Well, let me know what you think, because we are going to be filming out here, and I'm, you guys are, you're part of the community here. You're part of the family. So, I want you to definitely have some input. But let's kind of take a walk around once again. And the old bird feeding station. Actually, the stovepipe, I do have an electric fencer hooked up to it. And I got it on really low voltage. I mean, it just scares the squirrels away. They say, jump, I don't want to crawl up there. But I do have a squirrel feeder for the squirrels themselves, but they just have to stay away from the birds. It's not cruel or anything like that. It just makes them say, I don't like that. And of course, the chairs and stuff where you can sit. And the old bird feeder, or the old bird bath station for the birds. And of course, the wind chime station that's nice. And the thing I love the very most is the fire pit. There is just something about having a fire, sitting there chewing the fat, telling old stories and stuff about whatever it might be, and having a beverage and sitting around the fire. And like I say, get a good fire going, then leave it for a while. You get those nice wood coals, maple, hickory, whatever it might be. That smoke just gets into the wood or into the meat, I should say, and it just gets so good. So I hope it doesn't seem like I've been rambling too much, and probably have, but whatever. But again, your comments are more than welcome and valued, and please leave a bunch of them and let me know what you think, because like I say, you guys are part of the community here too. And I think it's kind of an exciting concept of building an outdoor kitchen, where we can film and cook and do all kinds of neat stuff. So anyway, and we got stuff from the garden too, just behind me here. And so all kinds of cool, neat outdoor stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like I say, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And stay safe. Give us a like, because it does help the channel out. Thanks for watching, my friends, and see you in the next video.